Hello everyone, this is English and I'm going to do what? I'm going to teach you English. By the way, if you don't know me, I'm Anna Gandrabura, aka English, and I'm from English for IT. What is English for IT? English for IT is a language school that helps people who work in tech and digital media improve their English and communication skills for work. Now, getting back to the topic of my video, in this video I would like to share with you some information about storytelling. First of all, what is storytelling? Well, you can guess from its name that storytelling means telling stories. But when do we tell stories? We tell stories everywhere, all the time. For example, we tell stories when we talk to our colleagues, clients, friends, etc. We tell stories all the time. We don't even notice when we tell stories. In my video, I have decided to share with you 6 useful phrases that you need when you tell a story or when you tell many stories. So let's go. Phrase number 1, turn out. Turn out means to happen, to appear. For example, when you say, I thought this project was going to be easy, but it turned out to be a very difficult one. See, that's how you use it. Phrase number 2, find out. Find out is my favorite because a lot of people don't know how to use this when they translate from their native language. Find out means to learn some new information, and a lot of times people confuse it with know. No, they are not the same. To know, this is like your state. You either know something or you don't know something, so it's like a state. And find out, this is when you're learning some new information. For example, you can say that I found out that my colleague is actually sick and not playing hooky from work, for example. Phrase number 3, figure out. Figure out is another one of my favorite phrases because again, I use it a lot, I use it all the time, and I would really like for you guys to start using this phrase so that you sound like a native speaker. So what is figure out? What does figure out actually mean? Figure out means to understand something, to understand, for example, a difficult issue, or to come to a solution, to come to conclusion, for example, when you're solving a problem. Let's say, again, talking about work situations, when you say, we had a really difficult task, but we managed to figure out a solution to this task, for example. That's how you would use it. Phrase number 3, end up. End up means to eventually do something. And again, this is one of the most popular phrases among native speakers, and I've noticed that non-native English speakers don't really know how to use it. Let me show you in my example. For example, let's say that you're trying to get a job in tech, but you don't know what actually you want to do. And what are you doing? You are exploring your options, and so you are telling me your story. I had been exploring my options for a few months, and I ended up choosing front end, right? Or I ended up choosing back end or something like that, right? So this is how you use it, right? So you came to a final point, and that's how you would say, I ended up choosing. Be careful, because end up is a really special phrasal verb. You probably noticed that I used a verb after end up with ing form. This is a must. No infinitive is used here, so that's why I said I ended up choosing front end. You can also use a noun after end up, or you can use an expression that talks about location. For example, you can say that we decided to travel around Europe and we ended up in Paris the second week of our trip. Yeah, we ended up in Paris, right? So we arrived in Paris. Or you can say that Kate and me started working together, so we were colleagues, but we ended up friends eventually, right? So ended up friends, it means like we became friends eventually in the end. Another useful phrasal verb, again, one of my favorite because I use it all the time. Actually, guys, don't be surprised that I have a lot of favorite phrasal verbs because I really do use phrasal verbs in daily conversations, and native speakers do that too. You should as well. All right, getting back to another phrasal verb I want to share here, come up with. To come up with means to create something. For example, create an idea, create a solution, etc. Let's say, again, speaking about work situations, we can say that last week our team came up with a really interesting solution to this task or to that problem. So come up with something is this phrasal verb is really easy to use. You have to remember that you have to use three parts. Come up with, right? So come up with an idea, come up with a solution, come up with I don't know, a good decision, for example. That's how you would use it. And finally, another phrase that you can use when you tell stories, it happened that. Right, it seems very easy, but please use it if it is easy. For example, you can say, it happened that I was recommended for this position by my friend. It happened that I knew him before I started working here. It happened that, and then you tell your story. By the way, if you watch this video again, and you should definitely watch this video because I'm pretty sure you liked it, and make sure you show me that you liked the video. Make sure I get the thumb up from you, and make sure you hit that ring button and subscribe to my channel. So anyway, in my examples, when I was giving you examples in this video, you probably noticed that all those examples were in the past. Because storytelling is basically telling a story that happened in the past. That is why be careful when you tell stories. Make sure you stick to particular sentences, and they are going to be past sentences: past simple, past perfect, and past continuous.